A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. It's the last one for the week. We promise to make you watch a while. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we talk about the Super Eagles. They're still in the news, reactions, trailing the two friendly matches handled by Coach Finidi George. We'll talk about that, and hopefully we will be able to probably speak with him at some point. We will also talk about CAF Confederation Cup. Of course, Nigeria's representative, Rivers United, will be up against USM Alger. We'll talk about that even as we go on. We'll take a look at the domestic scene. We'll also talk about the English Premier League. And of course, managers. At this time of the season, we're talking about managers and players. Big plans for managers. Xabi Alonso in the news. We'll talk about him as we go on. That's the outlook of the show today. And of course, I ask you to sit down, relax as we take you on the trip across the money spinning world of sports. It's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Okon-Akpan, of course, is suited and ready as we take this trip across the money spinning world of sports.
Spotty greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. Still an action-packed world of sports. In London, I'm Austin Okon-Akpan. Yemi, so much going on in our world of sports. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, that friendly game against Mali, still getting all of us talking. We seem to have forgotten what happened in the Jollof battle, but people just want to really get to know what went wrong with the team against the Eagles of Mali. And we've been listening to post-match analysis, but tonight on the show, we're going to engage Super Eagles interim manager, Finidi George, on the show tonight. The English Premier League is back. And what a way to return. Super Sunday, when Manchester City will host Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. We cannot wait for that one. And of course, the CAF Confederation Cup. Can Rivers United sing another redemption song? Can they go for 90 minutes against the North African team and give Nigerians reasons to, celebrate in the CAF Confederation Cup? These are many more we'll talk about on the show tonight, Yemi.
Oh, that's the outlook of the show, like we said. And I mean, let's even start it off, since we're going to be starting with the Super Eagles, and hopefully the coach will come through for us. A lot of questions have been raised, and I do agree with you. The focus has been on the lost game, not the one that was won. Maybe because, I mean, like you've said a couple of times, the fans have gotten their heart broken so many times, and so sometimes they look away from the positives quickly.
I mean, and with football, particularly with the Super Eagles, now when you win, the fans just expect you to keep winning. And I said it, that now with the way they gave us that fantastic run to the final of the AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire, and they were quite unfortunate, in the final game against the host. Fans will just expect them to keep winning because we know the state of our football just before the AFCON. Coach Finidi George is in Lagos with you, Yemi, but he's getting some rest. Couldn't make it to the studio, but hey, he's going to be joining us eventually on the show tonight. Finidi George, interim coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and also head coach Enyimba Football Club of Aba. Good evening, welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening, Austin. Good evening.
Awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you. I must say, I admire you a lot because of your calm, and that's when you actually read what's going on. So let me start by saying congratulations for the run at the AFCON. I was a big fan of the team at the AFCON, not when you guys were getting ready for it. So that's a good way to get into the conversation. What sort of experience was it for Team Nigeria at the AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire?
Actually, nothing was expected of that team. We all knew no confidence from Nigerians on the team. But on getting to Côte d'Ivoire, I think after the second game, there was kind of interest in the team, and the team kept winning, But I must tell you, before the tournament, nobody believed in that team, So that's football for you. We know the pressure in Nigeria when it comes to Super Eagles. So we all accept it, and then you just have to do your job and make sure the team is doing well. So that's the most important thing.
That's right. We did the job. got to the final. We're fortunate not to have won against the host. For Finidi George, what were the important lessons that you got out of that tournament in Cote d'Ivoire?
Important lessons, I would say, the team played we play to our strengths. I would say, yeah, we were quite unlucky on that final day. But I think we can build on that team. We can build on that team. Maybe one or two changes. I think the team will be ready to go. So it's all positive vibration. I think before the tournament, nobody believed in the team. But after the tournament, I think the players did so well that you can't just write them off for not winning the AFCON. If you look at the AFCON, I think we played to our own strength, and it worked out well for us.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I'll soon be handing you over to my colleague in Lagos. That's where you are. But let's talk about the two friendly matches. Now you're in charge. I've said it over and over on this show that I admire you and the tactics you deploy on the field. Tell us about that game against Ghana. What did it for you and the team?
I think the intensity. We talked about intensity to press high up, try to win the ball as quick as possible. I know it's not going to be possible all the time to win the ball, but Nigeria is a team that are feared. Most teams fear Nigeria, and if you sit back and wait for them to build that confidence, I think sometimes it could hurt us. So what made it possible for us, I think, we pressed high. In the first few minutes, we got one or two chances. We didn't take them. I think that really helped the team build and that confidence in going forward in that game against Ghana.
Sure. Thanks for joining us once again, Yemi from Lagos here. Let me just throw this at you. I mean, you talked about the quality in the team. You talked about strengths. I know we're analysts, we're journalists, we ask questions, but there are people who would say that the style at the Nations Cup wasn't really suited to the Super Eagles, with the kind of players that we had. We didn't get the best from some of them. So the question really is, if you are the helm, would you want to do something different? Or the style that got us to the final of the Nations Cup is okay and we should continue with that approach?
Looking at the squad, you can't really change much. I think we just have to keep believing that they can do it. For me, I think we have to bring back the intensity in our play when we lose the ball. So I think that is, no matter what system you play, if the intensity is not there, you struggle. So I feel we have to get back to where we have to bring back that intensity when we don't have the ball. So for me, I don't like to sit back. I like to play up. But that means everybody has to be up and doing. Everybody has to work hard to make sure whenever we don't have the ball, we try as quick as possible to win back the ball.
All right, let's talk club football. I know, I mean, the conversations will be mostly around the Super Eagles, but let's talk club football. And by the way, let me ask you, how has it been juggling both, having to manage a club on the domestic scene, and of course your job as the Super Eagles, in charge of the Super Eagles? How does that work? And of course, your aspirations with Enyimba for this season.
I think it's been okay. It's been fantastic when you have a very good backroom staff. My assistant is doing a fantastic job. Yeah, he's not trying to change anything. Whenever I'm not around, he sticks to the program, and then the team is moving on properly. Yeah, that gives me that peace of mind whenever I'm joining the Super Eagles. So he's doing a good job while I'm away. And yeah, I had to do what I had to do when I'm with the Super Eagles. So that combination is a good one. If Enyimba is not doing well, then I will have concerns. But at the moment, we're in a good place, and we are looking forward to defending the title, rather.
I see. Coach, tell me, I don't envy you. How challenging is it being in the mix of the Super Eagles and also coaching a top team such as Enyimba?
This is my third season with Enyimba, so I understand the terrain. I understand what is expected of the team, and at the moment we are third on the table. Yeah, still there to fight for the league. So I'm happy on one part. On the other part, also Super Eagles, joining the Super Eagles, I think we did well at the last AFCON. And I'm happy with the team, So all around it's been positive energy in Enyimba and Super Eagles. So I'm quite happy. It's been a wonderful, I would say 3 years, my third year in Nigeria. So it's been fantastic.
Coach, I remember when we had that conversation and I said, if we want to see the change, we must be part of the change. And then you're back in Nigeria, 3 years already. Thank you for coming back. With what you've seen in the last 3 years, are we making progress with league football in Nigeria?
Yeah, I can say that. There's a lot of progress being made already, but for us to get to that level where we all are used to, I would say we use the Premiership as our as our focus. We still have to do a few things to let us, I think, investment-wise, and let investors come in and pump some money in the league. Apart from that, I think officiating has been good. It's been going on well. You can never have it 100%, but from what I've seen, I think referees are doing a good job as well. So we must commend them and encourage them as well, so that we'll get to that promised land where we needed to be.
That's right. Good place to land. If I let you go, let's say you get the Super Eagles job on a permanent basis. A major debate on the football streets is that people feel the NPFL players are not good enough to make the Super Eagles team. Now, Finidi George, you're in the middle. You've tested the Super Eagles as coach. You're still managing the team. You manage a top team as Enyimba. Why don't we get players from the NPFL in the Super Eagles?
It's all about scouting, all about watching a lot of games and see the potentials of few players that can make it. We included this 2 friendly matches that we played. We included a player, Benjamin Tanimu, who just left Benda Insurance for a Tanzanian club. It's a player that has been doing so well, and he hadn't that opportunity to be in the Super Eagles, but we had to bring him in, and he did well against Ghana. So we just hope he keeps doing well, and then we'll keep inviting him, to perform. So it's like I said, it's all about scouting, watching the games, seeing the players that are ready to be added to that squad.
We'll see. But the followers of the leagues, I should tell you that invite more NPFL players. Finidi George, thank you so much for your time on the show tonight. All the best. I can't appreciate you enough. Whenever I call you, you jump at it. Thank you so much. And all the best with your career.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. That's it. Super Eagles interim manager, Finidi George, who is also the head coach of Enyimba. I don't envy Coach Finidi George. Let's say Enyimba wins a big game and the loss to Mali is on his mind. I don't think he will be happy.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't have him. There's a lot to juggle. And I like the question you asked him. I mean, that was on my mind as well. I wish we had more time to take him up on that. I know there's always this challenge of once you expose a player, they just travel out. And some of them just fly under the radar. You don't get to hear anything about them. But I would like coaches to answer, to be on the spot when they answer. Do we have players good enough to play in the local league and go into the Super Eagles? At some point, we need to decide that for ourselves. I mean, while the Nations Cup was going on, it was an ongoing debate, and I think that needs to be settled. If the product we have is not good enough for us to have players to walk straight into the Super Eagles, then we should be asking ourselves a lot of questions. All right, so that's it. Let's bring Dr. Agubiade into the conversation. This is waiting in the wings. All right, we'll go to Rivers United, and when Dr. is ready, we'll bring him in. Rivers United into the quarterfinal of the CAF Confederations Cup, and of course, they'll be up against USM Algiers. And just like Austin said at the beginning, I do agree with him. We're hoping they'll go far in this tournament. No Nigerian team has won this tournament. And just to follow up on the conversation around Rivers United, Coach Stanley Guma is joining us now, and of course we will be talking about Rivers United. Greetings to you, Coach. Thanks for taking out time from your busy schedule to be with us on the show tonight.
Good evening.
All right, it's good to have you. I mean, let's just go straight into it. Rivers United into the quarterfinal. I'm very sure the aspirations will be to go all the way. But first, let me start by asking, what do you know of the opponents you're going to face on Sunday?
Thank you, my brother. It's a pleasure being in the program.
Yeah.
Well, we thank God for being at this stage of this competition. It wasn't an easy thing. I think our opponent, we know, they have been very, very strong in the competition, and at this moment, they are the holders of the trophy, the defending champions. And recently, we have followed them of their performances, both in the local league and their performances in the continent. Found out that they are a very strong team, very formidable team with crack players and a very experienced team, very experienced players with a very good technical crew. I think they are a very strong side in all ramifications, and we have to respect them for that. So that is so we know them. That's the very good, very strong opponent position.
Okay.
As the game come up Sunday.
All right. Let me throw this in, and I hope you respond quickly before we go on the break. Anytime a club from Nigeria is playing a North African team, a lot of people are worried. Some of them become pessimistic. Now, you're playing a North African side. Should football fans be worried because you're playing a team that is well experienced, even as you have put it?
Yeah, you cannot, rule it out that yes, they have what it takes. They have been in the system, have been in the competition. They have a lot of experience, and you must give them that respect. Yes, there is no doubt about that. But it's football. A change can come up any day. It is not a permanent thing. The only thing is that if you prepare well and you're able to counter all the antis and have good players and have good plans, I think you can always break the jinx. But I think we in Rivers United Football Club, we will give our account of ourselves, and we know that teams from the northern, from the Maghreb areas especially, we know their antis, and we know that they are very, very good, comparing to the ones from the sub-Saharan region. They are quite different. So we will give our shot, and well, having known that they are a very strong team, we also prepare very well to ensure that we break their plans.
Let me just throw this in. And in terms of preparations, in terms of support, what can you tell us in terms of preparations that you've had for this game and the support you're receiving in terms of the welfare of the players and conditioning to help them prosecute this tie? What can you say about all of that?
Yeah, we have been preparing, and this time around, I think we have a couple of, we have enough preparations to an extent. I've been playing in the league, the Premier League. I think is a very strong aspect of preparation, and I would say that the team we have looked at the areas of the strong points and the weak areas, and we've been able to, knock the team into shape. Yeah, because I believe that we have our strength and we also have our weak areas. Now, most of the players that are injured have already come back. It's a part of our strength, and the team have gelled. We can play with a lot of cohesion, and I think we also look at the antics of North Africans and this Uzma team as in particular, they play a kind of fast football and with a lot of breakaways, and they are not a defending team. They're not a team that sit back to defend. They attack all through, and we have to also have be strong in the defense. Even though you are looking for goals, you need to be strong in defense, and we also don't want to compete with them in terms of possession. They have a lot more of possessive game and play with a lot of compact midfield. We have to also have players that have the pace, to take them on the runs and make sure that we go on the break too, to ensure that we also punish them, by taking them on the break and still can get goals, and then try as much as possible to defend them. I think we have done a lot of drills that will be able to give us all this that we need. It's our own tactical plans, and we have to try and execute it all, hoping fully that the players live up to expectation on the match day. We'll get all these things, all these acts together. We put the acts together and then get our plans, work out. I believe that I'm very, very optimistic that, we will try and see how we can get 1, 2, 3 goals, and then, to make the second leg a near formality. I think that is what our plans are, and we try to get them well.
I agree with you, Coach. It's very important to score goals in this first leg before you go to Algeria for the second. Good to have you on the show, Coach Aguma.
Thank you very much, Austin.
Yeah, I've been following your team forever. I think since you joined Rivers United, I love the changes that you've brought to the team. But Coach, tell me, how bad does it affect you and your team's performance knowing that you don't play your games in Port Harcourt?
Yeah, Mr. Austin, I think that's a very key point. It's a key point, Honestly, Port Harcourt has been our base and it's our fortress, But for some time since last season, we've been playing at Go. And I must tell you that for now, we have acclimatized and seen you as a home. But ordinarily, one would have loved to play it is the best, is more comfortable zone, which is in Port Harcourt. But now it's too late it's like a spirit make. So we have to make it with what we have now, hoping that these issues will be rectified in due course. And for now, we are focused on playing that and getting the desired result. So I think that is our target now.
I've been digging into this fixture, and Rivers United and USM Alger, they've not played before. So this is neutral for us. Good. I looked at current form. In 5 matches, it's 5 wins for USM Alger. So Rivers United is 3 wins, 1 loss, and a draw. Coach Aguma, are you under pressure for this game against USM Alger?
No, not under pressure. I know it's a tough game, but we're not under pressure. It's a game of football. It is not where you say, it's not mathematics where you say 2 + 2 is 4. We're playing at home, for goodness sake, we don't have anything to fear. But we respect the opponent, we respect their records, But I tell you, we'll give our best to come on Sunday, and I believe that we'll be able to turn the table. We will surprise bookmakers. I believe that we have the players, we have the management, we have all the wherewithal, to make it count come Sunday.
We're looking forward to it. Please give our best wishes to your team. Tell them not to raise my blood pressure like the last game, because they always have me keep my BP monitor. Coach Egua, tell them when they get
at least for anything we have played the North Africans this season. We played the Club African, and
exactly. And you beat Club African so well in New York, and then the second leg you almost got me to hospital. All the best, Coach Eguma.
Thank you.
Fine for
thank you very much, Mr. Austin. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you too. So that's it. Rivers United head coach Stanley Eguma speaking to us on the show. So it's very important, and I love the fact that it's a fresh encounter between both sides. So let the best team go out there and win.
Yeah, and I hope these days playing at home first may not necessarily be an advantage, but I hope they get something from it because we're used to how the North Africans approach whatever games they play against us down here, and I'm hoping that Rivers United will go far in this competition. I know they're receiving all the support that they need, and we hope that the Nigerian team will go far in this competition and get to win. So, like you said, all the best to the team, and hopefully when next we're talking about Rivers United, we'll be talking about a win for Rivers United.
Yep.
All right, so I think we're done with that. It's time to come to your end, Austin, and of course, the man who is in the news, and rightly so, is doing so well in the German Bundesliga. Is Xabi Alonso. He has been linked with many clubs. He's been linked with Liverpool. He's been linked with quite a few other clubs as well. But it does appear that he will be staying at the Bayer Leverkusen. It does appear, but nobody knows. Even the Bayern job as well has been linked with that as well. And Austin, how things can change in football. Here is somebody who was referred to as a rookie coach. Now is the beautiful bride.
I know, Yemi. This story of Xabi Alonso, each time I think about it, how fortunes can just change for you, And with Bayer Leverkusen, at a time when Bayern Munich thought they had invested so much, Borussia Dortmund thought they had invested so much for the media to talk about them, and everyone is talking about Bayer Leverkusen and Alonso, and it was very important for him to come out and set the record straight. And he said, look, I'm staying, because it's important at this stage, with everything he has achieved, there's need for him to stay humble, and that's what he wants to do, just stay with the same team that has given him the opportunity to grow. You know what? Let's listen to Xabi Alonso. He said, look, I admire Liverpool. I'm a legend of the club, but I'm staying at Bayer Leverkusen.
And it's been a season we have had a lot of speculations regarding my future, and till now we had so many games. We've been pretty busy, we've been pretty focused, and I wanted to use that time of the international break to reflect a little bit better and to take a decision. And last week I had a very good meeting with Simon, with Fernando, with Sir Merin, when I informed them that my decision to continue being coach of Bayer Leverkusen, and at this moment I feel that this is the right place for me to develop as a coach. I am a young coach, but I have to feel it, and right now I feel that this is the right place, and I have to thank the management, the club that has been really supportive. I feel really respected by all the departments.
Xabi Alonso saying, look, I think for a young coach like me, Bayer Leverkusen is the place to stay. And Yemi, he says his work at Bayer Leverkusen isn't done yet.
I agree with him. I think this is the best move. You know, you don't want to start and everything ends before it all begins. All right, we're not going to be the only ones having this conversation. Dr. Ngubiade joins us now. Greetings to you, Dr. I've loved you to be in the studio. But any way we get a chance to talk is all good. Thanks for joining us on the show. Good evening. All right. Okay. Let's do this. Hopefully you could hear. Hopefully you've heard us talk about Xabi Alonso. So your thoughts on the decision he has made. Liverpool fans disappointed. They were hoping it would take over from Jurgen Klopp. Even at Bayern, they were hoping that they could, find a way to convince him to come over to the Bavarian Giants. But he has made it clear to everyone. He has addressed the press. I'm staying at Bayer Leverkusen. So what do you make of his decision to stay?
Well, if you look at it very well, I will actually tell you that he has actually made his choice. When it comes to coaching, you decide on what to do. It is a personal thing. I cannot actually question his opinion on this particular topic. But if you look at it very well, he loves what he's doing at Bayer Leverkusen. And if you take a look at the team, since he has actually taken the position of the manager of the team, they've been moving from one level to the other. If you take a vivid look at the team last season, a team actually delving towards relegation, and this season they actually are fighting to win the league. And even we call them a runaway leader. If you look at what they've been able to do so far in the league, they actually are ahead of Bayern Munich with as much as 10 points. And that is a very good one. And for him being the manager of the team, he has actually decided that he wants to stay with the team. He wants to continue what he's doing with the team. I see that to be a very, very wonderful one coming from him, because he knows that this is his fourth major appointment as a manager. So he wants to amass a whole lot of experience before moving on to another club. All
right. So we'll see how that pans out for him. But he said, I'm a young manager. I want to take the right decisions. All right. Let's move straight to England. We use the few minutes we have left to talk about what's happening in England. Let's take a look at the fixtures. I'm going to go across now and quickly reel out the fixtures. I'm very sure everybody's thinking about Super Sunday. But first, before Sunday, you have Saturday. So let's talk about Saturday. Newcastle United will take on West Ham. Bournemouth will take on Everton. Chelsea will take on Burnley. Nottingham Forest will take on Crystal Palace. These matches will be played on Saturday. There are other matches to talk about as well. Sheffield United up against Fulham, Tottenham against Luton Town, Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Brentford against Manchester United. All right, I think it's time to talk about Sunday. Let's talk about Sunday. Here you go. Liverpool will take on Brighton. Manchester City will take on Arsenal. Very interesting matches. I think at this point, let's quickly listen to the managers of both teams, the Arsenal manager and the Manchester City manager. We listen to them. We'll come to talk about the games of the English Premier League.
Yeah, we had some clashes as well in the FA Cup, in Community Shields, and it's all great experiences. They have raised the bar in this league, I think, in football in general, to a level that it haven't been seen before. And that's the beauty of a sport, that makes you better, that challenges you more, and you have to keep up with that pace, and that's what we are trying to do. Yeah, it is different. Momentum was different. We have certain results and some big injuries as well in that moment, and that's it. But those experiences are there to learn. Sometimes you just have to clap the opponent when they are better than you, and that was the case on the day as well, and learn from it and challenge yourself to be better. Well, he had to change. He has to change. My admiration and what I feel for him, certainly not. My opinion, is the best coach in the world by a mile. And he's one of the nicest persons I have met in football, and certainly one of the ones that I have more fun and laugh working with, and that's going to stay there forever. But obviously, our roles at the moment are what they are, and you have to adapt to the situation.
Injuries. Harrison is much better. Kyle and John out. Yeah. Good to be here. The season has been really good, winning 2 titles, and after what happened last season, being in contention for the 3 important titles of the season, and now start where is important because we make an incredible work before of that. Last 10 games of the Premier League, now start the important thing against the leaders of the Premier League of this season at home with our people, and I'm pretty sure they will give us what we need to perform our best.
Pep Guardiola. I don't know why I'm never fooled with Pep Guardiola. All the smiles, all the humility. And Austin, look, whatever you say about Manchester City, they still have the chance to do the treble this season, in spite of what people feel is what has happened to them. A lot of people feel maybe they're not as strong as they used to be. But guess what? With 10 matches to go, they're still in contention for all the major titles.
That's right. And this season in the league is so competitive because it is the first time in 10 years that only 1 point separates the top 3 after 28 games, with Liverpool staying in second and Arsenal at the top, with just, being at the top because of goals difference. Now, if you go and look at the statistics, this is the one Arsenal fans don't like hearing. Manchester City, of course, they are bidding for a fourth 4 successive title. They have won 12 out of their 13 past league matches against Arsenal, with their only defeat, that's 1-0 loss at the Emirates Stadium earlier this season. So easily, you just want to give it to them. And I don't blame Mikel Arteta. I hear a lot of Arsenal fans on radio today saying, he's showing so much respect for Pep Guardiola because of the way he went on, to big up the coach and what Man City has done for football. Who wouldn't? When you look at what Manchester City they've done for football, City are looking to complete back-to-back trebles with a Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid and FA Cup semi-final with Chelsea coming up. She said they're in contention for everything, and that's good enough motivation that you need to go into this sort of, fixture against Arsenal. The Gunners, they need to show that they've matured. Just as Pep Guardiola said, they've always been in contention in the last 2 seasons. It's time to show walk-ins, You go to the Etihad, show that you can compete, show that you want to win the title, show that you want to keep the pressure at the top, because it's not just you and Manchester City now, it's you, Liverpool, and Manchester City. So Arsenal, whatever they get the opportunity to impress, they must take it, Yemi.
They must. All right, Dr. Your thoughts ahead of, do you feel this game is a title decider?
Yeah, well, many among soccer-loving people out there are really saying that this particular encounter will be the title decider, but I want to actually disagree with that statement, owing to the fact that we still have 9 games to play after that particular game, and if you look at the performance of Arsenal so far in the league this season, you would definitely say that peradventure they lost that game to Manchester City. They can actually still pick up the pieces and win all the games and actually make sure they win the league. And for Liverpool, they still have equal chance. And for Manchester City as well, who are up in all tournaments, like Austin rightly said, they are still in the UEFA Champions League, still in the FA Cup, and still fighting to win the English Premier League. So I think it's not really the title decider, because peradventure after Arsenal wins this game and still goes on to lose all the games, definitely they're actually not going to win the league. But this particular game on Sunday will play a role in the title deciding movement, owing to the fact that these 2 teams, if Arsenal wins, Arsenal remain at the top of the league log. If Manchester City wins, Manchester City will actually jump to the top of the league log. And if it's ended in a draw, definitely, and Liverpool wins, Liverpool will go to the top of the league, and Arsenal and Manchester City will be second and third respectively. But I think it's not a title decider, but it's really going to be keenly contested. But I just want to actually tell Austin that history are meant to be broken, as in records are meant to be broken. Over the years, they've actually been getting it at this Arsenal. But if you take a look at what has happened between Arsenal and Manchester City in the last 1 year, last season, Manchester City were lucky to actually have the victory against them. Arsenal fought tooth and nail before they actually capitulated during the course of the game. And this season, they got the one up against them, winning by lone goal at Emirates. So if they can put up a 5 at Etihad, it is possible to get the better of Manchester City.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully, if they can, stand the firepower, the pressure that City will bring, because definitely City will take the game to Arsenal. So let's see if the Gunners will make minimal mistakes, because see, when you go to the Etihad, the sort of pressure that they put on you, if you can try not to make mistakes, then you can get something out of it. That's what Chelsea did when they went there and they didn't lose that game.
All right. As we go, forgive me if I'm already taking it for granted that Liverpool is going to beat Brighton. So, of the 3 possible outcomes in that game, Dotun, what do you think will happen? A win for Arsenal, a loss, or a draw? 3 possible outcomes in that game. I'm already taking it for granted that Liverpool will beat whoever they play. So Liverpool might end up being on top of the table at the end of Sunday, unless the Gunners win. But of those 3 possibilities, as we go, of those 3 possibilities, which is more likely to happen?
I told you sometimes ago that I desire Arsenal win the league this season, owing to the fact that we'll be celebrating the 20th year of not winning the league. So if they can win the league this season, it's really going to be wonderful for them. So I think a win for Arsenal in this.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. I don't know if Austin agrees. And with Dotun on this one, I don't think it's a title decider. If the Gunners do not lose, they have a chance.
Where else would you want to be, Emi? Not start with the 2 innings for Arsenal. Yeah, I totally agree. The Gunners, they've shown maturity this season. They've won some games that you'd expect them to struggle, particularly the game against Brighton. They won that one, convincingly. Except for the game against West Ham and Fulham. And, with the London derbies, it's like that. So against Manchester City, Mikel Arteta is hoping that Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli will be fit enough to be, part of that fixture on Sunday. But I just want to say something about Liverpool-Brighton. I'm saying don't be too sure, because in the last 3 seasons, Brighton, they've shown that they know how to beat Liverpool, particularly at Anfield. And if you check Brighton in their last 5 matches, they've lost their last 3. So now that we've gone into this international break and everyone has refreshed, taking a lot of water,
all right,
Liverpool should be ready for some competition. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpa, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right. I wish we could go on and on, but time not our friend. I want to thank Dr. Agubiade for his time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Yes, Yemi.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. Enjoy the holidays. We'll see you again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.